Let's go live to Darwin. Matt Cunningham joins me. Matt, you said it was going to happen. It has. And on the basis of this issue of conflict of interest, there must have been a lot of internal pressure within Labor for her to go.
There certainly was, Kieran. It started yesterday when this report first came out in the Anti-Independent about Natasha Fyles holding these shares in the company South32. Now, you heard her say there that it was an oversight. I think the difficult thing for her was that it was the second such oversight in just a month. Last month it was revealed that she also had shares in Woodside. And so really she was left with no position but to stand down. There was an enormous amount of pressure being put on her from within her own party. I think this was an issue that spoke in some ways to the Chief Minister's competence. There were people I was speaking to in the Labor Party, Kieran, who just couldn't understand how she had been capable of such an oversight. And for many people here in the Northern Territory, they will be shocked that it is Natasha Fyles who has been forced to resign as Chief Minister in this way. She is someone who I would say prides herself on her integrity. And this is, you have to remember, a Labor government that came to power in 2016 promising to restore integrity in government after 4 pretty chaotic years under the country Liberal Party. So Natasha Fyles, she said in that news conference that it was an oversight, it was an honest mistake, and that's why she was standing down. Interesting that she says she's going to remain as a backbencher. I think that the Labor Party will be seeing that as good news, the best chance of holding her seat and the best chance of winning the next election. What's going to be interesting playing out now, Kieran, is who's going to take over. That's going to be a contest between the left and right factions that are pretty evenly split now in the Northern Territory. I think you'll see Nicole Mannison from the right faction put her hand up, possibly Joel Bowden or Chancey Pake from the left faction. But Natasha Fyles will be officially resigning on Thursday, and then they'll have to fight that one out from then.
And so in terms of this oversight, let's just have a bit of context, because you, as you said, it wasn't like this was the first mistake. So the fact that it's happened previously and so recently, to do it again and to have another oversight, you can see why many of her colleagues would have been scratching their heads, why that intense pressure built on her to step down.
Yeah, well, she was damned by her own words in many ways. When she was trying to explain the oversight in relation to the Woodside issue, she said that she declared everything, not just shares. She said she declared everything right down to her family home, her car and her membership of the local sports club. So, for just 4 weeks later, there to be another revelation relating to shares that she's held in a company that has serious interests in the Northern Territory, well, then really she had no place to go. And, you couple that with the fact that as the Health Minister earlier this year, she ruled out an investigation into adverse health effects relating to that Gemco mine on Groot Island. She was facing accusations that she not only breached the members' disclosure rules, but also that she breached the Ministerial Code of Conduct. I think there was definitely going to be heat on her either way, but I think her factional rivals were certainly seizing on this to put the heat on Natasha Fyles, to make the hard call, to say they no longer supported her, and from there, really, there was only one decision that she could make, and that's the one that she did, to resign.
And it comes at an interesting time, less than 12 months until the next Territory election, Saturday the 24th of August. So for Opposition Leader Finocchiaro, you'd have to think pole position right now.
You would have to think so. I'd be... I'm not sure I'd call it a fait accompli. Territory elections can be a difficult thing. The Labor Party will be keen to remind the electorate of what happened the last time the CLP was in power. We had a Chief Minister who was rolled, Terry Mills, just 7 months into the job. We had 18 cabinet reshuffles in 4 years. The difficulty Labor has now, though, is that it's always talked about the chaos and dysfunction of the CLP. Well, we're about to have our third Chief Minister in this term of government. Michael Gunner resigned 17 months ago. Natasha Fyles took over. There's really been a fair bit of internal warring ever since between the left and right factions. How are they going to resolve that? How are they going to put that to bed? How are they going to present a united front in the next 8 months leading up to the next Territory election, Kieran. That's something that they're going to have to work out behind closed doors, because it's been an uneasy truce at best since Natasha Fyles took over from Michael Gunner as Chief Minister almost 18 months ago. And I think they're going to have a fight before they come to that resolution and get behind whoever the caucus votes in as the next Chief Minister.
So who do you think is the favourite, given what we saw just a couple of weeks ago in Queensland? There was a likely contest, and then one of them pulled out when it was clear that the backing was behind Stephen Miles. Shannon Fenderman pulled out. Who is in the mix in Darwin to replace Fyles?
Well, you would say Nicole Mannison, but that comes with a caveat, Kieran. I'd say that Nicole Mannison was tipped as the favourite to take over from Michael Gunner when he resigned in May last year. Now, since the 2020 election, the left faction has actually been building its numbers. They were able to get behind Natasha Fyles last year, have her installed as Chief Minister when Kate Warden, a member of the right faction, actually flipped sides, voted with the left and put Natasha Fyles in. The right faction's been smarting ever since. They'll be very keen, I think, to get Nicole Mannison into the job. She's actually been on holidays in Bali, so she'll be frantically trying to get home as we speak. On the left side, you have Joel Bowden, the former Richmond footballer, and also Chancey Paik, who is the Attorney General. Now, Joel Bowden has been pretty instrumental in getting those numbers for the left. He's very ambitious. When the last leadership challenge was happening, when the Chief Minister's position was up for grabs, he made no secret of the fact that he was pretty keen to take the job one day. So I think he'll be throwing his hat in from the left faction's side of things. Then it's just going to depend on where the numbers fall, because they're split pretty evenly, and there are a couple of unaligned caucus members as well. So no doubt the phones will be ringing hot over the next couple of days as the potential leadership candidates make their case to their caucus colleagues about why they should take the top job.
And Matt, we will stay in touch right throughout the afternoon as we look over this big decision. No lull before Christmas in Darwin. Thanks so much for that. When it comes to politics, it's all happening in the Northern Territory.